Well, hello there. This is the Handshake. My name is Lynn Komjisha. I'm joined by Paul Busharizi. Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So the president has assented to the Data Protection and Privacy Bill. Do we know what this is?
Well, I think the background is that in this world of what? The internet, there's a lot of data going around. It has many uses. It can be abused. It can be used for good. It can be abused and all that. And we needed a law to protect the users of the data. That's basically
That's basically it. What does it seek to achieve?
Well, in addition to, well, so data now is a big deal. It's it's some people have even called it the new oil.
Oh.
We have so much data going around. We have just as an example, there's data about where you are, where you've been, or which comes off your phone. There's data about calls you've made, data about texts you've made, data about transactions you've done. There's all that data has a commercial value, actually.
It does.
Exactly. So we needed a law to help. Actually, it is a law that was needed to actually activate e-commerce really, like, to its full potential in Uganda. Yeah.
Is e-commerce making any progress in Uganda?
Oh yes, great stuff. I mean, when you talk of e-commerce, you think about just buying and selling, but you should expand it to things like payments, for example. You know, our mobile phone companies now, you can go to a vendor and pay for something without cash. You expand it to things, making things like agency banking easier now. The banking sector has said that the transactions, over-the-counter transactions have reduced from about 70% maybe 2 years ago to just about 30% now. So because people are not going to the banks because they can do whatever they want elsewhere. So all that is, if you think of e-commerce in that wider perspective, and that's all data that has to be protected. Because the last thing you want is somebody that you don't want to know, knowing how much you've received in your account, you know? Or how much you've sent to somebody else. So you need protection for that. So that's basically what the law is about.
Now, with all that and so much more, does it fortify our cyberspace?
Well, fortify is a good word to use, and that's the intention, that we should have clear rules of data. For example, let's say the mobile phone companies have your data. How can they use it? What right do they have to use it? Where do their rights start and where do they stop? Where do yours start and where do they stop? That kind of thing. So when you create the rules, hopefully that is what also creates the fortification around this data.
Really? I don't know, because there's a time we were ranked among the best, you know, cyber safe countries globally. But with this bill, are we in any way, I don't know.
Well, it's possible we were ranked one of the safest cyber. I don't know about that report, but it's possible we were ranked because we were doing very little cyber stuff. But the more you do, the more you're exposed. I mean, if you think about it, in our daily lives now, we are dealing with people from all over the world. You're here in Kampala, you probably would never have known somebody in Australia or Germany or wherever. You're doing it now. But they're exposed on their side, you're exposed on this side, the avenues for getting into our networks. And I mean, in very extreme cases, some of these hackers, as they're called, people who break into cyber networks, just need a link. For example, let's just say they need a link into my phone to get into the telecom operator.
Oh yeah.
And you know, some of these guys are, the story is, or is it the experience or the anecdotal evidence is that the hackers are always ahead of everyone else.
Absolutely.
So everyone else is playing catch up. Actually, some of these companies that are heavily invested in ICT have their own hackers to keep breaking, testing their own systems.
Yes.
So now that we're more exposed, I think that ranking might fall very dramatically. I suspect, yes.
But with this law in place, perhaps we'll make some headway.
I think it sets the rules of the game. I mean, there's certain investments we can't make, we couldn't have made
without this.
Certain investors that wouldn't come here without that law.
Without law, yeah.
Because that law kind of mitigates against the risk of certain things happening to their own businesses.
All right. I hope that's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
Thanks.